Welcome back, everybody, to another MLB The Show video here. Today, we got a new program that's a little lackluster, but I get it. We got new World Series rewards and World Series or multiplayer program stuff. And again, stuff we're just going to be talking about the week. And of course, the big thing coming on Friday with 17 new legends. Friday for Home Run Derby X. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on, and we're also going to be talking about sort of where we are with the collection and how some of the bigger, more expensive things should be returning soon-ish. We'll get to that here in a second, but as always, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Help us defeat the YouTube algorithm and all that fun stuff. So let's jump into it and get into what is new and coming today. So as always, we start here on the calendar just to give everybody sort of an update. So today we have World Series rewards, new multi-eating program, new program, pack showdown collection coming on Friday, alongside 5 times XP for home runs, and the postseason stuff begins in about a month. So all that, really, let's just start with came out yesterday. And there's a really easy way to do it, and I would just suggest doing it. So if we go to programs, if you didn't know, yesterday was Roberto Clemente Day. So Roberto Clemente Day, you get a bunch of packs, you get some good experience here, and then finally this card right here. Gold Glove, Roberto Clemente. Max Contact, 91, 100 power versus right, left respectively. Good defense. Solid card. I think it's probably the best card he'll get all year. Maybe they give him a finest later on. Who knows? But he's a great, honestly, I love this card. I like this card. A lot of times, mainly it's like a 2-hitter. He feels like a really good 2-hitter. Honestly, that max contact's really good, kind of the Derek Jeter-esque sort of thing. But I look back, and this is a really weird complaint, and not even a complaint, but I just like having a little bit more in these things besides packs. But a couple years ago, they had the Roberto Clemente Day had a program and had, instead of it being a Gold Glove card, it was a Roberto Clemente award card, and they gave them out to a couple of other players that were like 97s. They didn't do it this year, but I was looking through, because I'm like, didn't they do something a little different a couple of years ago? And they did. It was in 23, they gave us a Roberto Clemente award, David Ortiz and Cookie Carrasco, and all that stuff, which was different, and I like new and different things. But again, this is straightforward, and the easiest way to do it here, if you want to do these, you can do these. All these will do the same thing for you. However, I'm just knocking out on one. I'm probably gonna finish it today. I'm just doing the conquest. It gives you 50, and that's it. And you should do the conquest anyway and get some packs out of it. However, the one thing that is sort of just rinse, wash, and repeating over here in terms of conquest, is what the final reward is, which is just a deluxe choice pack. I kind of wish this was different, but for whatever reason, we're just stuck with these deluxe choice packs. And at this juncture, I'm starting to hit the point where I like to call it is basically just an automatic 5K to 10K stub at this point, unless you're pulling rare rounds. So it helps with the stubs, but again, there's 2 deluxe choice packs here. I mean, I don't. It's weird. I kind of just I don't. I don't know what to say or do when it comes to it. It's weird. I don't. I don't even know. I don't know, man. At this juncture, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. Which is fine. Again, it's 5 teams. You could probably knock it out in like an hour and a half, but just keep aware that the rewards are kind of just the deluxe choice packs. So keep all that in mind. Now let's get to the good stuff here in the multiplayer program. So in terms of ranked, you see right there, the new rewards here are the Mookie Betts and the Carry Wood, which are really, really good. So let's take a look at the multiplayer program here. So starting off here, the first card you get is Jorge Soler, the 40. I thought he was the last one. The 40 home run Jorge Soler here. Of course, max power both sides, 105 against right, 100 versus left. He can kind of field if you want to stick him out and right, but 48 home runs for him for this milestone card that's going to help you. He's going to be expensive right now, but as always, as the season goes on, he will probably be around 8-9K. So Keep that in mind if you don't play a whole lot, but if you do, you'll probably get him fairly fast. It's not too difficult to get him. Going down the list, of course, Batskin Rewinds if you're into this kind of thing. Some more deluxe choice packs they hand out like candy. And the second card here is Carlos Delgado's 4 home run game. 124, 125 against right, 111, 95 versus left for the first baseman. I think these cards, I'm going to go on a limb and say if you hit 4 home runs in a game, just give him max power. I know technically I think he only faced righties this game, but I don't think it matters a whole hell of a lot. Call me crazy, call me something. I don't know. I just think giving him max power is fine. A premier choice pack, so these are kind of nice here too. You get 3 players here. I think it's 3 players or you pick 1, so that's kind of nice. I wish they gave out premier packs more. Here's your new bat skin. It's an eagle. Okay. BR Rewind pack. They haven't released a new BR. I don't know when that'll happen. But they haven't got 99s from BR yet. The cards aren't overly expensive. They're slightly inflated because of the new collection, but I'm sure they will kind of drop here as you sort of see here going down the list here. He's probably the biggest pain in the neck because he is the last standout card or breakout card they gave. So if you want to spend the stubs, he's not overly expensive, but again, if you want to pack him, I don't blame you. Same thing kind of here with the standout. He hasn't, Luis, or he wasn't dropped really yet. But these are hovering, and the same thing with like these gold glove cards and stuff. It's just kind of weird. Next up is the pitcher here, Mike Mussina for 20 wins. Sinker, 4-seam cutter, circle change, and a slider. Hunter Hen stamina, hit per 9 pretty good as well. Same thing, over 100 in all the categories that matter. Velocity is a little bit slow. In terms of quirks, homebody, day planner, and breaker outlier. For 250 wins. I'm sorry, I thought it was a 20 win. That's my fault. I'm an idiot. I can't read. Whoopsie daisy on that front. Silly me. Another Hero Choice pack, a World Series Rewind pack, so you can get a chance to get Oscar Charleston and Fernando Tatis. But again, I'm going to iterate, if you look down the list and wait, their prices probably will drop to levels that you can just pick them up and not have to necessarily worry. And mind you, these cards are going to be necessary. I don't know how long it'll take for Tatis to drop. He probably will, but the card is banging compared to like Lawrence here. But we'll kind of see if the cards drop. I mean, Oscar Charleston's also really good too. So just keep that in mind there. And the last card here is going to be Austin Big Thick Riley. 125, 120 versus right, 116, 100 versus left for his Silver Slugger card. Decent enough defense in 21. If you like his swing or you want a different third baseman, he's your guy. I don't know. He might start for a lot of people or he might not. I couldn't tell you. Is that bad? I'm just here, dog. I'm sorry. And some Premier Choice packs. It looks like they're handing out more Premier Choice packs. There's 3. There's what, 3 or 4 of these bad boys? Yeah, there's 4 of them. And the first one's at 60. So if you're playing, knock it out, get in there. It'd probably be pretty good here. Let's take a look at, can we take a look? Let's take a look at the World Series rewards cards here. Again, you get a Premier Choice pack there as well. So you get a lot of them. World Series rewards. Taking a look at Mookie Betts here. Mookie Betts, right fielder with shortstop and second base secondaries. 116, 109, 111, 125. Clutch is 125 as well. Same thing with discipline. Gold teal under him in right field. Should be fine. I wouldn't play him at short with it, but hey, if you need to, you need to. I would also wager he's probably at this juncture he may not be getting anything better than this. I would assume. I could be wrong. We'll kind of see because postseason's always the weird variable. He could go off in the postseason, and he gets like World Series MVP. Maybe. The second card here is pitcher Kerry Wood. 4-seam slurve, 12-6, changeup, and a cutter. Again, above 100 in the 3 stats we care about. Clutch is also 125. I would assume this guy's got outlier 1. He does. Homebody United player pickoff artist. His control adequate. Same thing with his pitch break, adequate as well. 266 strikeouts, 2003 NL leader. Does he have 125K? He doesn't. That's 120. What? Okay. Alrighty. Interesting, I guess. But those are the World Series rewards there as well. Let's briefly talk about the collection because I saw somebody else bring this up and I just want to reiterate something here that is happening. When I say happening, it's not happening tomorrow, but it's something I kind of want you have in the back of your brain for this because this is something that is probably going to be the case. So some of these earlier cards, i.e. kind of like Manny here, are kind of expensive. They're 88s, but they're really expensive. The one thing to keep in mind is generally at the end of the year, whenever the last program is, or last inning is, probably after the World Series. So right around finest would be it. Usually they go about 10-ish innings and then 11, maybe 10, 11. It kind of depends. No, because 9th inning would be October. So 10th inning would be, yeah. So let's say they do another 3-week thing. Generally, at the very end, whatever that last infinite program is, they'll throw in the old bosses again. So whatever ones you're missing for collections, so let's say it is Manny and you don't want to spend 82,000 stubs on him, you're probably going to be able to pick him up because they usually say like, hey, here's the chance to get the one you didn't get, or if you picked him up, you could sell. The only thing that's kind of here's the one thing that kind of puts things into a weird, funky bind here. Where was he? I forget which. It was It was a Veritech card. What was he? Was he Breakout? He was. Is something like Jason Veritech here, who's 68k for an 87. He hasn't come back yet. And there is a better one. Same thing here. This is a different thing, but I keep reiterating this. Guys like Bryson Scott, who are way overpriced right now for 87s, and Diamond Quest. Please, for the love of God, you're looking for stubs. Diamond Quest is your stub making machine, especially for stuff like this, where it's kind of a weird thing to do. It's kind of the only one that's kind of a bummer here is this guy is Devin Williams. He's back up to 66k and he's a 94. Why? He's the last rookie card they released. I'm not gonna lie, it sort of made me laugh where it's like now we're getting, so here's what's funny, and granted I get why they do it for All-Star because All-Star's also a pain in the tuchus, but like the newer cards here, so the new Cornerstone cards, I'm just using this as an instance. 2 of them were All-Stars, and I think, or all of them were All-Stars. They were all 90 All-Star cards. One could have been a rookie. It would have been kind of nice so that you didn't have to blow it to get it. And I understand, like, oh, well, if you play Weekend Classic, you can get it. All right, sure. It just seems like a lot, especially for like 1 or 2 cards here. And it's kind of the same thing. Like second half Heroes is sort of in a similar situation. You need Trey Turner, who's over 200k. At this point, he's a BR reward, but he's kind of cheap. Millie McCovey's cheap, but it's the last card here that is the problem. Trey Turner is overly expensive at almost 200k buy now. Well, basically 200k buy now. And also the Padres reward. In terms of like everything else, I don't necessarily know what you would need if you need all of these guys here, but I mean, Joe Mauer's 56 is like understandable, but like it's weird. And I know this category will grow as things go on, but it is kind of just like a oof sort of situation. But yeah, like contributor isn't really a problem. I'm just too lazy to buy it. But for the most part, in terms of problematic ones, I would say the biggest problematic one, in my opinion, as of this moment, is going to be something like Pipeline. Why? Because you need one of the expensive boys, and they're still over 100k each. Vlad being a chase card. Well, now they kind of evened out, but for the longest time, these were the problems. Kind of difficult. In terms of summer, I don't think summer is necessarily issue here. This is reasonable. It's just a matter of grinding, and you can get summer done if you're lazy POS like me. You can get it done. Moonshot was made way easier because the addition of these guys, so like these middle guys, if you miss, who jumped up a little bit in price, now they've come down. You can kind of fill in the spots, which I will probably do as you go here, but like these guys still hovering where they are, I assume they'll drop eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, to make this stuff a little bit easier to get somebody like Hank Aaron. Tim Raines should be well within a hand if you just do a little bit. But the program's really, really good because Joe Mauer here is disgusting. I mean, hell, Ozzie Smith is also disgusting, but that's neither here nor there. But in terms of collections, again, they did say yesterday that John Donaldson was the last one. The only thing I wonder is if these things will be added to, because like you get postseason usually, like the current postseason usually gets one, and there's some other stuff along the way that they kind of add to these to sort of help kind of alleviate stuff. I kind of hope that these get those updates. So like Finest gets 2025 Finest gets one, 25 postseason gets one. If they do another Team Affinity in between, like that gets one, just so it alleviates some of this pressure and some of these cards become easier to get, or maybe they throw some more impact. Who kind of knows? But in terms of that, we're in a funky spot. So, and also Home Run Derby X. I hope they update it just for Home Run Derby X, because there's a lot. I think there'll be some good cards in there that you can use for this. Granted, I will say you don't have to do this necessarily overnight. Don't get it twisted. It's going to take some time. And like I said, right now we're kind of just in a flux because everybody's trying to buy stuff and locking stuff in. So it's going to be a weird market. Granted, it being the last one, people might come off the gas pedal at least a little bit, just so people will have the ability to maneuver stuff around, especially at this point where I would say we're kind of at the point where it's just sort of like the gates open up. If you haven't finished live series, if you still haven't finished live series, I would still say focus on live series and do that secondary, because like there's no real risk of being behind. I haven't even looked at the price of like Shohei or Judge. Has that changed at all? Damn, I bought him on a dip apparently, because he was not that when I got him. Yeah, they're still expensive, but I still say sort of just focus through it. Like I won't lie, I bought mine. I cleared out my bind here, got 300K in stubs and bought them. I got them both with an F. But if you're still struggling with it, I mean, I would say get it, because I'm not going to lie. Carlos Beltran is a special breed of card here. Is he the best center fielder? There's hard pressed to find a better swing and stats that this guy brings. I understand if you're kind of like, he's way too expensive for my taste, but I want to put something into perspective here. When the Show Zone did a calculation, John Donaldson here was over 9,000 American dollars to buy every card you needed. I'm going to throw that out there. He is 9,000. He is basically a $9,000 card. I'm throwing it out there if you started from zero. I don't know what the live series collection is, but I'm going to bet you dollars to donuts it's probably not that. And plus, getting the cards actually still kind of helps you a little bit. So I would say still go for it. I think the rewards are worth it. Are they being paced out? To a degree, but I think that Carlos Beltran is still really good, and people still like that Gil Hodges, to be honest with you. So, and plus, too, Gil Hodges helps you with the Hall of Fame series, and then Roger Clemens helps you with the award series. You get 2 free cards and all the other cards along the way that help you, so this is a really good thing to sort of invest in. But I digress, especially with some other bigger stuff. Like I said, Home Run Derby X is getting a whole shaboodle, so I'm sure that'll be absolutely bananas crazy if they with it. So hopefully there's some more variety to it. But we'll kind of see. But again, I just wanted to throw that out there, that relief is on the horizon. I just don't know necessarily in what way. Also, just a little bit of a note here on the back end. It kind of looks, it seems like the chase packs are done. It says anyone through 25. If you get the 50 bundle now, so it's Chipper Jones was the last one. I guess that's the end of that. These seem to come really, really fast, so I don't know. And it looks, and I don't know about headliners. Maybe headliners 2 are done at 30 because we haven't gotten a change from O'Neill in a while. And he's still hovering around there. Is he being used? He's not even really being used. 21. 2,000 players have P1'd him. Holy hell, 52 P5. So apparently no one likes this card, which is interesting because he's 45. So I would just keep that in mind here, that it looks like this is over. So take that for what it's worth. If we're keeping it $110 here. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I saw that yesterday too, that it looks like these are done. I don't know if they go, I thought they went to 40, but maybe they do go to 30. But like I said, I'm just more so speculating on the headliners, but it does seem chase packs are done. So if you're kind of looking and saying, oh, well, maybe this will happen, I couldn't tell you. I honestly, I don't know, man. It just seems like we've been here for a good week or so. Maybe they're done, maybe they're not. We'll kind of see what happens on Friday. But also, if you're missing out on some cards here, this goes through the first 4 innings. If you picked it up late, get this. It'll help you with some programs. But that's everything. So, totes my goat. Alrighty, so that's kind of everything. That's the new rewards. They look pretty spicy. And again, I just wanted to touch on some of the weird oddities of the collection because it's just I know a lot of people don't play a whole heck of a lot, and I try to be the voice of it as to kind of help, at least to alleviate the problems. I know a lot of you aren't crack addicts like I am who play this game a lot. I've said this plenty. There's plenty of other games that are coming out. If you're playing 2K Madden or whatever, play whatever game you want. Come back to this. This game shouldn't envelop your life. So I don't blame you if you are playing something else. There's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff on the horizon game wise that are pretty exciting. Like stuff I'm excited for. With all that being said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll be back here probably Friday. Maybe I'll make another video in the next tomorrow or Thursday. If something happens, if we get some more information. But until then, my name is Specs, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.